are you ready? I have a question for you. What sort of appearance do you like most? Like, what would make you call someone gorgeous? Tell me in the comments down below, and in the meantime, I'll tell you my story. Hi, I'm Penelope, but everyone calls me Penny. I was an ordinary girl with blonde hair and blue eyes. There were dozens of girls like me in our city. That's not true. You're the most beautiful girl in the world. Thanks, Tom, but I know that's not true. Tom was my boyfriend. Don't laugh, but our love story began when we were in kindergarten. Hey, Penny, will you be my girlfriend?
Of course! If you share this muffin with me.
We had been inseparable ever since, and even planned to get married as soon as we graduated from high school. I see hardships in your future. Uranus in Virgo. Blah, blah, blah. That's my best friend, Helen. She was a bit bananas. Sometimes she acted like she was a fortune teller and talked nonsense. But other than that, she was a great girl. That was my life. I hung out with Tom and Helen and spent the rest of my time studying and learning Korean. I loved the culture of that country. And then, one day, the principal called me to his office. Penny, I've got great news. Remember the competition you won? The one where your knowledge of Korean traditions was tested? Well, now you have the chance to study in Seoul for a year as part of an exchange program. Really? Thank you, Mr. Smith! I was over the moon! I couldn't believe I would get to study in a country I'd only ever read about. My parents gave their permission, and I quickly packed my things. You're leaving? What about me? Tom, it's only for a year. Babe, this is a dream come true for me. Of course, we were both sad to part, but Tom loved me, and he let me go. Call me, and send me at least 20 messages every day. I will. This trip will change your life. I see a lot of temptations ahead for you. Retrograde Mercury. Wow, Helen. Can't you just be happy for me? We hugged, and the very next day, I was on my way to Seoul. Yay! At first, I wandered around the city, staring at everything around me in amazement. The passerby smiled at me and even came up to me to take selfies and chat. It was weird, but nice. On the first day at the new school, a guy immediately ran up to me. Wow, you look amazing. How sweet of you. I've never seen anyone as beautiful as you. More guys started coming up to me. They all praised my appearance and suggested we get to know each other better. What was going on? I wasn't used to being the center of attention. Had Helen's predictions actually come true? And that was just the beginning. Not only boys, but even girls kept paying me compliments. Wow, you're so beautiful. I wish I could look like you. Hachun would have definitely asked me out. That girl's name was Yumi, and she was head over heels in love with the most handsome boy at school, Hachun. Unfortunately, he didn't notice her at all. However, as soon as he saw me, he blurted out, "Wow, don't make any plans today. We're going to the amusement park after school." You didn't even ask my name. I'm not going anywhere with you. He was persistent, though, and stalked me like an obsessive fan. Ugh! I was sick of that cocky guy's dumb flirting attempts. I have a boyfriend. Do me a favor and get lost. Hachun glared at me and backed off. Finally. However, the next moment, Yumi stormed up to me. Listen here, new girl. You are a real beauty, but if you don't leave my boyfriend alone, you'll regret it. I seethed with indignation, but she didn't listen to me and left. Great. I managed to make enemies on my first day at the new school. I angrily turned around and immediately ran into some guy. Hey, watch where you're going. I'd love to, but I can't. That's when I realized he was blind. I felt terribly ashamed of myself. What was wrong with me? I'm sorry. My name is Penny. Should I walk you to class? Even though I can't see, I know the school like the back of my hand. This is the first time I'm hearing your voice, though. You must be new here. The guy's name was Song Tae. I introduced myself and we got to talking. You have a cute accent. I like learning English and reading about American culture. Really? I won a competition thanks to my knowledge of the Korean culture. We have a lot in common. We spent a lot of time together after that. Song Tae was a part of a special program. He was more educated and interesting than all my new classmates that stared at me like I was some sort of celebrity. Speaking of which, things were getting crazier. Now, not only my classmates, but also random guys on the street came up to me and complimented me. One day, I even had to take a taxi to get away from them. Hello, babe. I've missed you so much. Hello, Penny. Why are you so out of breath? You look worried. I'm fine. It was just a bad day. Of course, I didn't tell Tom anything so I wouldn't upset him. Things kept getting worse. Someone started messing with me at school. They ruined my homework, told the teachers I was cheating, and locked me in the toilet. I started falling behind in my studies. The principal hinted that I could be sent home ahead of time because of my poor academic performance. I heard you're in trouble. I'll help you if you go on a date with me. Thanks, I'll pass. Ugh. He was infuriating. Luckily, I had Sungtae, who helped me with homework and supported me in every way possible. But my problems didn't end there. Someone sent my phone number to the school's group chat. All the guys at school lost it and started calling me. I thought I would go nuts. Eventually, I turned off my phone before going to sleep. The next morning, I turned on my phone and saw a ton of messages from Tom. Where are you? Why aren't you answering your phone? Are you hiding something from me? Damn it, our relationship was on the rocks because of my annoying classmates. I had to do something about it, but before I could think of anything, Sungtae called me. Penny, please come over. What happened? Please, just come and see. Hurry. Terrified, I ran out into the street. All sorts of scary thoughts were running through my head. Then, my phone rang again. Sungtae, I'll be there in 5 minutes.
Who is Sungtae?
Oops. Tom, don't get the wrong idea. That's just my classmate. Something bad happened to him. Penny, we need to have a serious talk. Babe, later, okay? I'll call you back. I ran into Sungtae's house and saw a table set with candles and flowers. My classmate was standing next to it and smiling. What is all this? Sungtae shyly said that he had arranged it all to confess his feelings. I've never seen you, but I feel like we're two parts of a whole. Will you be my girlfriend? You're very sweet, and we have a lot in common, but I already have a boyfriend back at home. You will always be just a friend to me. Sorry. Never say never. One day I will win your heart. I didn't know what to say to that. A couple of days later, a joyful Sungtae came up to me in the school hallway. I'll be able to see soon. Can you believe it? What? How is that possible? The doctors examined me and said that thanks to modern technology, they'll be able to partially restore my eyesight. Sungtae, that's amazing! I'm so happy for you! I hugged my friend. He was so cool. Wait, was I falling in love with him? I had a boyfriend, and I was going to go back soon. The next day, I was called to the principal's office. That wasn't good. Penelope, your grades have been slipping recently, and I have no choice but to consider sending you back home. Oh no! I burst into tears, and I told the principal everything. How am I supposed to focus on my studies if my classmates are acting like that? I know what's going on. There are no people with blonde or blue eyes among Koreans, so your appearance is considered unique and beautiful here. But of course, that must be it. I asked the principal to give me one last chance, ran out of his office, and tried to think of a way to fix everything. Then, I saw Hachun in our classroom. He took my homework out of my backpack and started to ruin it. Had he turned my life at school into a living hell, all because I refused to go out with him? That bastard! I was about to grab his arm, but Yumi beat me to it. Hey, Hachun, let's go out. Leave me alone. You're ordinary, Yumi, and I only like unique girls. Ordinary? That's when I got a brilliant idea. Can you guess what it was? I put on a black wig, got black contacts, used some makeup, and turned into a real Korean. Annyeong, my name is Penny, and it worked! At school, no one paid attention to me anymore. Boys passed me by, and Hachun turned away indifferently when he saw me. It's you, Penny. You look a bit plain today. He finally left me alone. Life was wonderful again. My grades improved, and the principal changed his mind about sending me home. It was awesome! I wanted to tell Sungtae about it, but he hadn't come to school in several days. Hey, where have you been? I'm fine. I'm in the clinic getting ready for the eye surgery. I'll see you soon. I'll visit you after school. I was in a great mood, and I called Tom to brag about my transformation. Well, how do you like my new look, babe?
I liked your old one better.
It was obvious something was upsetting my boyfriend. It was probably my fault. After all, I hadn't been talking to him much because of the recent events.
I'm sorry, Tommy. Everything will be fine now. I'll be back soon.
And a couple of months passed. No one bothered me at school anymore, so I kept studying without any issues. After school, I visited Sungtae in the clinic. He was recovering after the surgery, and he could already see vague outlines of things around him. Can you imagine? I helped him keep up with the school curriculum, and we spent a lot of time together. Sungtae was still in love with me. I cared about him too, but I couldn't betray Tom. By the way, Tom and I made up. We constantly texted each other and called each other every evening. Tom would tell me about his and Helen's lives without me. No matter what happens, don't listen to her predictions. And then Sungtae came back to school. Now he was wearing huge glasses, but he could see. As soon as he came back, I gave him a tour of our school. This is what our classroom looks like, and that's our principal. And this is what you look like. I can see you now. I blushed. Sungtae was smiling so sincerely that my heart trembled. I also felt a bit guilty since this wasn't what I really looked like. But to be honest, I was scared that he would start acting weird too. So I wore my wig and my contacts when we walked around the city. Then the spring holidays came. 3 whole days without school. I missed Tom terribly, so I decided to surprise him. I bought a plane ticket, but didn't tell my boyfriend I was coming. I flew home and I hurried to Tom's place. I saw him from afar and I was about to call his name when… what was that? Helen came up to Tom and hugged him, and he kissed her gently. My boyfriend and my best friend had betrayed me. How could they do that to me? Tom, what are you doing? Penny, what are you doing here? I wanted to surprise you, but I see you're way ahead of me. Denying it was useless. It turned out they had been together for a while now. They started dating in secret before I'd left. Now it was clear to me what Helen meant when she said my trip would change my life. She stole my boyfriend! I'm sorry, Penny. I wanted to tell you the truth, but then I got mad at you and I changed my mind. It seems our relationship really meant nothing to you, huh? I turned around and I left. Looking at those traitors was unbearable. I blocked them and flew back to Korea a day later. I was in a terrible mood, but everything changed when Sung-tae met me at the airport. He brought me to a restaurant and we had a romantic dinner. Since I didn't have a boyfriend anymore, I could date Sung-tae. However, I didn't want our relationship to be built on a lie. I need to tell you something. This isn't actually what I look like. What do you mean? Give me a minute and I'll show you. I went into the bathroom, took off my wig and contacts, washed off my makeup, and came back. I braced myself, but Sung-tae didn't act like an obsessed psycho. He just smiled. You're still beautiful. How can you be so calm? I said that all the boys at school used to stare at me when I look like that and told him about the explanation the principal had given me for their behavior. There are no people with blonde hair among Koreans, so everyone here thinks I'm really beautiful. I get it now. I lost my sight when I was very young, so it makes no difference to me. Unbelievable! Sung-tae was the only one who wasn't affected by my appearance. I hugged him and we became an item. I was myself again. Of course, my classmates started hitting on me again, but Sung-tae protected me from everyone like a real knight. Over time, I stopped paying attention to everyone else's interest in me. Moreover, I felt much more confident now. Before coming to Korea, I'd always thought I was completely unremarkable. I studied in Korea for a whole year, but eventually, it was time for me to go home. Sung-tae was sad because he didn't want to let me go. I didn't want to part with him either, but there was nothing I could do. I couldn't stay in Seoul any longer. At the airport, we held hands for a long time, and Sung-tae promised we would see each other again soon. I'll find a way. Just wait for me. Of course, babe. I'm not gonna forget you that easily. I got on a plane and went back home. At first, I just sat in my room and felt sorry for myself. We kept texting each other and didn't break up, but it was hard to be so far apart. The summer holidays flew by and I came back to my old school. I saw Tom and Helen again, but I wasn't mad at them anymore. After all, thanks to them, I met a guy who really loved me. We even started talking again, and I told them how much I missed Sung-tae. I see an unexpected meeting in your future. The stars have aligned. Oh, Helen, please don't start again. I don't believe in your predictions. Then my phone rang. It was Sung-tae.
Hello, my love. I have incredible news for you.
I'm going to be studying in your school this year. What? This is… I squealed with joy, and Helen and Tom looked at me like I was crazy. I counted the days until Sung-tae's arrival and dreamed about being his classmate again. And then he finally came. See, I kept my promise. We're together again. I'm so glad you didn't forget about me. Distance didn't destroy our relationship. I showed Sung-tae around the city. We came to school together, and then, wow, you look amazing! Oh, how sweet of you. I've never seen anyone as handsome as you. What? It couldn't be. My classmates lost their minds when they saw my boyfriend. Everyone wanted to get to know him. After all, there was no one that looked like him in our school. Penny, I don't know what's gotten into them. I do. Come on, we need to go to the mall. Why? To buy you a wig and contacts. Beauty standards differ from country to country. Your appearance may not stand out in one place, yet be considered incredible in another one. We might look different, but we're all actually quite similar, don't you think?